Those chairs from backstage.
Please? Okay, okay, well then tell us she need to come. Are you ready? Get ready.
What are they
Yeah,
gonna do?
yeah. You live? Okay.
No, they're still back there. Well, at least they were. Morning. Oh, Miss Anguilla is here. Lovely. Maybe I bring her in too. Yeah. As the last queen to be crowned
Yeah, yeah,
in Okay. Good morning, good morning. We are here and we are live in front of the Landsom Cultural Center on this Demolition Jollification morning. I am Gleniva Hodge. I will be conducting the interviews this morning and I will be starting with the Minister of Social Development and Education, Miss Deanne Kentish, the Honorable Miss Deanne Kentish Rogers. Um, Good morning, Minister. Good morning, good morning.
good morning.
How are you? How are you feeling this morning? We are here. If I flash back to about just under a year ago, you joined us on an episode of Progress Reports. I believe it was prior to the 2023 Summer Festival. And you mentioned, we might be a few months late, but you mentioned, being here and coming with a jackhammer, and I saw a clip of you yesterday with your sledgehammer. How are you feeling this morning as, if you look behind us, the machinery, they're getting ready to begin the demolition process?
Um, I think it's an emotional morning for most persons who have a history connected to the Landsom Cultural Center. This facility has housed many, many, many memories. It has been a platform for a number of young women, young men, Calypsonians, tiny tots, prince and princess contestants. And I think there is an emotional tie with this particular community to this facility. Even though, over the years, the facility has kind of been brought together by the individual investments of persons around the island, I think that this Landsom Cultural Center has a specific material value to all of us in Anguilla. I can speak from my time in 2017 as Miss Anguilla and the value that this particular edifice and the cultural activities within Anguilla have really assisted me in terms of my personal growth. And I know many, many other women who would have been assisted through the programs and the events that have taken place within this Landsom Cultural Center. So it's a big moment. I'm a little emotional, which is why I'm wearing shades this morning, trying to hide my eyes as best as possible.
Awesome. So tell us, Minister, again, we are moving past again, and you speak about the history, and I think most of us here this morning have some sort of connection with this building, whether it's those of us that went to Valley School, and for myself, I went to Valley School, and this was our community center. This is where my primary school graduation was held. This is where I had several of my Christmas concerts, and so I think we all have some sort of emotional tie to this existing structure. However, prior to this existing structure, we know that this was the home, the house, government's house. So there is a lot of historic links to this particular area. as with everything, we see change, history comes and history is made. And we moving into the 50th Summer Festival, we are looking at history being made again as we hope to enter into a new home for Anguilla Summer Festival 50. Tell us your outlook. We are February 17th today. We know Anguilla Summer Festival kicks off July 21st. What is the timeline for moving in to the new building? I must say it is a very ambitious goal. How do you foresee this going, and have there been any sort of plan in place and mitigation for any delays, as usually happens with construction?
Yeah. So we do have a contingency plan, we say, but we know that there are a couple critical components to the construction. So in the plan, which we would have released to the public in the rendering, which was just a projection, there may be variances. I do have to say that there may be variances in the actual development, but there are 2 floors on both sides of the newly developed Landsom Cultural Center, on the stage end and on the back end where there were the booths, majoritively just the booths. On the stage end, we are going to be developing the backstage, the technical areas, the stage and the supporting structures, and then on top of the backstage support structures, you'll have the DYC offices and some conference spaces. So those 2 areas will be developed at the same time as the wall structure to the north. And then to the south, you'll have, at the bottom floor, you'll have the vending booths. And then on top of the vending booths, we'll have the judges area, you'll have the media room, and the VIP lounges. So what we've said is what we're looking to work towards right now is what is critical for opening for the Anguilla Summer Festival 2024, which would be our first phase, our first floor phase. So although some parts of the development may push out beyond the July 21st date, the critical components that we're working for is really the base floor.
Great.
And sorry, you did ask about contingency, and in relation to contingency, we are also putting some contingency plans in place for power and water.
Great. So, Minister, I know that you have to go. The equipment is ready. It's in place. I hope that we will be able to switch through and see when the first blow is struck, and we can see this going on. This morning, I will be speaking with a number of persons, musicians, calypsonians from way back when. I hope that Dizzy will be back somewhere to join us. I have Haji here. I have Latest. We hope to be speaking with the custodian of the Landsom Cultural Center. I know she was here this morning and probably feeling a bit emotional. Like I can feel how charged she was this morning. So, Minister, thank you for joining us. Good luck and congratulations on getting this important structure revamped to a place where we can look forward to the next 50 years of hosting shows, of being a home for the culture. And again, my hope is not just culture, but also the arts.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right? And so, again, thank you. This is history in the making. We are at 50 years of Carnival. I see the chairman of the Carnival Committee behind me. He is busy, and we are ready to go. There's a flurry of activity behind us. Persons are here from the community. I see persons from several different communities, because this is not just a Valley South community and initiative. And I failed to say initially, you know, this carries so much importance for you, because you are also the minister for this particular area. And so persons are here. We are ready to go. Thank you, Minister. Thank you. And I believe I see Haji somewhere around, and we'll ask him to join us next, and as you make your way.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, hi. Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning, everyone. Good morning.
How are you?
Like you say, it's kind of emotional, that you're gonna see part of history go down in history. So in the making of history, but it's good to be here. Yeah.
Great. You are a cultural icon in Anguilla. You are a staple on this stage. There is no carnival without Haji. And, I may be a little bit young, so my memory goes as far back as Better Band days. I am certain you may have graced the stage well before that time.
Definitely. I don't know if I've heard of Rebels or anything like that from before. I remember being on stage with a wooden keyboard stand I built myself, and this is years. We're talking maybe 89 or 88 or somewhere around there on the stage, and seeing lots of acts, been here attending, so lots of acts on the stage in the village, Carver Village. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, we have seen the village go through various stages of transformation. How excited, before we even get to where we're going, let's speak about some of your more memorable occasions on this stage. Let's take your top three.
Okay, so
I won't put you on the spot for the top, the top one.
I can say though that I was actually part of putting down the benches.
Okay.
Because
When did that happen?
I can't remember the exact years, but a long time ago.
Okay.
The benches were there a long time, and they're still in pretty good shape. I don't know if you noticed. So my mom and dad was part of the Lions Club who actually did the benches and whatnot. So I remember drilling and screwing up the benches in the village. Also, one of my most memorable, I remember actually getting there illegal. I could talk about it now. Getting there legally. I had fun. I mean, it was a great time and in time to be there and be around the village and what's happening in the village. I remember Born in Flames being in the village and they brought their own system and the whole thing. And me as a kid coming up looking at it was just I was in awe. And I still cherish those moments up to today. And just know that we're gonna make more memorable moments in the new structure. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, the village is a structure.
Right.
It is a structure, but it is the community. It is the people.
Right.
It is the energy of the performers that makes it what it
Right, and
is.
that's something I want to touch on too, because people are concerned about the structure not being able to be, completed within a certain time and whatever the case may be. But it's not about the building; it's about you. You need to come out. You need to participate in whatever facet, whatever you could, your profession is, or if you just want to be a reveler or whatever. But you need to support as a people. You need to come out and give your support to Carnival, and not because it's 50, but because it's your culture, And people who actually travel to Anguilla, they're coming back for the experience. So you want to have that impact and give them that experience and say, you know what, I'm not missing it again. So yes, the building is something that we all should enjoy and will enjoy, and it's wonderful, but it starts with you, the people, coming out and enjoying, participating and supporting what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And we are joined this morning by latest.
Hey, let
Good
him go
morning.
waiting on you, man. He could have waited. That could have waited.
I
Oh
want
my
to say
gosh.
something else too. I can't wait for the committee to put it on the radio and launch the competition for the slogan for this year. It's going to be wonderful. So I hope that they're listening and they should actually start that up now.
Here's the other guy.
You got a guy coming
Come
in?
here, come here.
Okay,
Hey!
So we are joined.
Good morning.
Ah.
We are joined by other members of Exodus HD. We have latest with us. I only know your government name, so if you got a stage name, I am sorry. Lenrick, good morning.
Good morning. Lennox is fine.
Good. So, fellas, tell us, how are you feeling this morning? I know both Haji and Minister Kentish Rogers spoke about the emotions surrounding what is happening this morning. How are you feeling?
I can tell you straight up, the emotions here feeling this morning is a feeling of happiness. not a feeling of sadness because, like I say, future here we comes. You know what I mean? It's been too long. You know what I mean? So we are taking up our culture to a different standard. So we say kudos to those who involve, who make this thing happen. This morning you say jollification. A lot of people are wrong. Some people was babies born here. Yes, you know, history has been made here. So this morning is a good morning, you know what I mean? We're giving thanks and praises for this morning. You see my team here. We here having a good time, just watching everything and conversating and getting ideas and trying to put ideas also in the people who are developing this thing and making this thing work for everybody, you know, so everybody could be a part. Yes, you see the trucks is moving and things are about to happen. You look at you and cry. You better run there, get your last walk up now. Long time.
I have got.
I see the sexy ass, you know. I say, big up to the sexy ass one time for come down here and knock down this thing, you know what I mean? I who show him where Evelyn was selling specials right here, and it always has been an eyesore to him because that the time he went to the Carnival Village, you know what I mean? Because he was a church boy, you know. But it's my cousin, but we love him still, you know. But today we making history in the making.
Awesome. Yes, I mean, latest you have touched on so much, and yes, the building is about to come down. It is emotional, but whether those emotions are emotions of nostalgia, emotions of, I don't think there's true sadness as opposed to just a recognition and an appreciation for the history that has been made in this building. You know, I remember a number of band clashes. I look forward to more band clashes. You know, how does Exodus HD see band clashes going forward in the proposed new structure?
Well, first of all, we have more room to wriggle around. Really and truly, what we have to encourage is the showtime part of the act. So we're talking about I see Miss Mona and Mr. Fleming, they're here, and it's important that we encompass a lot of our cultural, you know, behavioral patterns and our culture itself into the band class. So we try to make a show, you know, you try to make a show because, like I say, you want that experience that people could come in and when they see it, they love it, they want to come back to it. So we're gonna try and encourage that blend of culture into what we're doing and keep it happening.
Thank you. So, again, you mentioned that Mr. and Mrs. Mona and Felix Fleming are here. These are cultural icons. We'll be speaking with them shortly. You know, we speak about, again, latest you spoke about emotions and emotions of happiness and looking towards the future. And that, I think, is very important for where we are going. You know, I think it's important that we embrace the past, we embrace what has happened, but definitely looking forward as we celebrate 50 years of Carnival, of Summer Festival, that we look forward to the next 50 years. You know, I may not be able to, you guys, maybe latest, may be able to still jump up on the stage 50 years from now and who got the best work up. But, you know, but we look forward to the next, look forward to the next generation of musicians, of cultural icons. And so, latest, I see you itching. You ready to come. You see the problem? Entertainers are them love a mic. Love a mic. So there we go.
That's my job. Accept the job. Well, what I would like to say, I think they had a club in the village, if we can back some history, named Club Subway Father 4. You understand? When they come to Subway Father 4, is no more. You catch it? So now, basically, the platform was left. So that platform is getting digged up today. And a lot of people dance in Subway Father 4. So now, a lot of people... The back. Correct. Right. The stage was there first. Yeah. I thought we were going back there, but anyway, back to business. Yeah. Anyway, so then this was created, and I remember coming up the road and seeing bands coming down and things and happening, and you grew up in that situation now. So now to go from this now to something else, when the construction and the stuff is finished, and that's all done. The most important thing going in there is the spirit of the people who going in there to create memories. And this is why the jollification look like this right about now. Because these people has grown here in this place and make memories in this village. And we about to go and make new memories. So with my team, we want to speak longevity. We want to speak life. We want to speak happy moments. We want to be positive. We want to speak love. You understand that? So when I itching for the mic, yes, because I got something to say.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for being here with us this morning. And as you said, I'm going to leave. I know it is again. We are filled with emotions here this morning. There may be emotions of the history that this place holds, and we welcome long time custodian, the lover of this place. I heard you this morning, and I knew it was coming from a place of love. I knew it was coming from a place of deep emotions as we get ready to say goodbye to the old and welcome the new. You know,
you are crazy though.
Listen. It is.
Yeah,
that's right.
New things.
And I know once we move into the new space, you know, like Lady said, it will be about the spirit of the people. It is about the spirit of the people. It is, you know, buildings come and buildings go, but the people, the memories
Remain for sure.
they remain.
You writing this
You know,
song?
I want credit. You know, when Exodus HD gets up on the stage, I want credit for the lyrics.
Okay. I think I need banking online.
No, that too. You know, but again, there's evolution. Latest, I remember you well before there was a latest Exodus HD.
I know you're checking me a long time.
I remember you, and we could speak about it. I remember you in Gassi and Josie's house, sitting in and writing lyrics, you know. And so just as the evolution of music and the evolution of bands in Anguilla, so too we are seeing the evolution of the structures that exist to fit the needs of where we are now. So,
guys,
thank you.
job well done. Jello, job well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Jell.
Jella, if you are ready to start to speak with me, or if you need a few more minutes, let me know.
You hold the best for the last.
But I can hold on to you close, okay? And
Thanks for having us.
Great. You let me know when you are ready to speak, okay?
Thanks for having us. Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Good morning, Jella.
Good morning, darling. Good morning. I'll say good morning to everybody who are always in the morning with me, 4 o'clock in the morning, like Gaff. They boot owners, them. Good morning. I'm always keeping my cup them when I clean it. I was in the village from the time I was 5 years old. I'm now coming 28th of June. I'll be 60 years old in the village. And I got all the keys still for the village.
Okay, let's pause a moment. Let's take in the moment for what it is right now. Jeff, if we can just get some shots. I see some band rivalry happening over on the other side. I see some Exodus HD and I see some Panther Vibes fans over there, and they are looking forward to band clash. There you go. So we're going to just pause for a moment. We're going to just take in what is happening right here in front of us, live this morning. Demolition Jollification here at the Landsom Cultural Center. We are experiencing history in the making. We are seeing the demolition of the Landsom Cultural Center as we make way for a new structure heading into Carnival 50. All right, I think we lost Jella for a little bit. Again, this is going to be very emotional for her as, you know, a longtime custodian of the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center. And I hope we can get her back before we finish this morning. But I also see some cultural icons here with us this morning. None other than my adopted family, Mrs. Mona Fleming and Mr. Felix Fleming. And so I will invite them to join me here this morning and speak with them just a little bit. I know that he is taking it all in, as we all are this morning. Good morning. Jella, you coming back to join us now? Okay.
My cousin, you know.
And this is why jollification is so important, people. This is part of our history. This is part of our culture, and it is the coming together of persons for achieving a common goal. And so we are seeing this is family. This is togetherness. This is not destruction, but this is the making way for something new. So good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Fleming, Mom and Dad.
Good morning.
How are you? How are you feeling this morning?
Feeling great because I'm seeing in my time something new, something happening in Anguilla, something that we've been looking forward to for a long time.
Nice. Now, let me start over here, Mona. How are you feeling this morning, Mona?
Well, I am happy because I know we are getting something new, something better. Because when we were in charge of this carnival village back in the early 90s, 92, I think, from there, it was just like a shack. And it remained a shack. And I'm so happy that we're going to get something new.
So you speak about your involvement and being in charge. I want you to speak to us this morning a little bit more of what that involvement looked like. You know, I have some more coming for you, but I want you to speak about what that involvement looks like back in the 90s for you.
Well, in the early 90s, you think it was something good, you know, something very, you know, usable. And I know my husband then, Felix, he did so many things to it to make it better inside, you know, bringing stuff from home, and he even put a new toilet in there to make it, you know, as we would say modern.
Right, and what exactly were your roles during that time?
In 92, I was the chairman of no fun, not one minute. And I welcome the challenge. We got it done. Even raised the price. Half acre of land. After us.
So I will stay here this morning and say that we will then issue a challenge to the current chairman of the Carnival Summer Festival to do what is necessary to bring the prices up. It would be remiss of me to not mention that I know that it is already the full-year scholarship, full scholarship to the University of the Virgin Islands for the winner of this year's Academy team. And so I hope that Miss Anguilla pageant can attract a prize that is more because like I know that Mona has been a dress designer and has been around with the girls, and I know Mona has designed dresses for some pageant winners. Tell us a little bit more of what that feeling was in the backstage arena.
Well, I'm proud of you, Geneva, to say that because I don't think I ever lost a competition in a dress design.
There you go.
You know, and we had some people who got jealous of it and, stuff like that. So I stopped it in 2010, I think, some years ago.
So, undefeated queen of pageant dresses.
And backstage was really cumbersome, when you have all the girls in one little area dressing. You had to hold up a sheet so that she could change her clothes. But we made it. And I hope this one would be so different that each girl would have her own room to dress, And I will be there, I hope, to see the new place done and girls dressing. But I'm not sure if I would really make another dress because I'm probably now too old. But the older you get, the better you get.
There you go.
I will be really designing still. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Now, Felix, I do have a question in terms of when I spoke with the minister this morning, the hopes for the new structure is that it is not just a space for cultural events. It's not just a space that is used seasonally for carnival and for summer festival. As a renowned playwright, as someone who has produced, written, and put on many plays, one that I have been fortunate to take part in, and I see a number of your actresses around here this morning. What are your hopes for this space? Are you hopeful that this space can also be a home to plays in the future and for future playwrights of Anguilla?
Of course, that would be my first wish. I can remember I put on a play in the village, the only play that has been put on in the village called Master of Carnival. And I thought it was quite appropriate to put on at the time. And I did it just to show that what can be done. And of course, it wasn't a theater facility, but we managed to do it, So I really hope that this new facility would be able to accommodate plays and new playwrights and so on, because the young people are taking over and they are more aggressive than we were, And so I look forward in my old age to see new things happening. It is wonderful that in this time, my time, I'm seeing this structure torn down to be renewed.
Awesome. And I think that is the message here this morning. While we are physically tearing down, it is a message of hope. It is a message of renewing and a message of hope and looking towards the future. So thank you very much. Tell me, is there anything else that you would like to share with us this morning?
Well, to share, I wish that the young people will take it over and do new things and just be, it is just as important now as it was then to have stuff done so we can have it, say we have a new carnival village, a building as such, and, young people will take it over.
And Felix, if you can give me some of the highlights of your most memorable moments here in the now former Landsom Cultural Center. If you can give us some of your most memorable moments here.
Well, I think if I did that, I would be this maybe discriminating against some of the people that we worked with, right? So, in that vein, I wouldn't say what was the most memorable, but we have many memorable moments with our queens, the talents that I wrote for the queens and stuff like that. All were valuable to me, you know. Go ahead.
I could remember my first queen in 1977 was Miss Pamela Von Webster, and the one I did last was in 2010. I can't remember her name, but Smitty is her dad. Yes. What's her name? Kimdra. She was my last queen. Beautiful from 1977 to 2010. Everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'm going to bring the minister back in just really quickly. Just really quickly. Minister, thank you for joining us again. You know, again, this is of course a queen, and this is family. This is what this moment really is about. Tell us, now that, you know, the structure has physically started to come down. You know, when we started before it happened. How are you feeling now? I'm just putting you on the spot.
I was inside. I'm not gonna lie. I was inside tearing up. I mean, there's so much personal investment that people have made into this facility that, you know, you can't underestimate, you know, the value. I mean, I'm standing here with two people who, even their first queen might have been Pamela Van Webster, but years later, they were still helping me with my talent for Miss Anguilla. So when it comes to people who have dedicated their lives to ensuring that culture survive, you understand?
Yes.
That's not just a part-time commitment. That's like a lifelong commitment. So, yeah, it's
Very emotional.
very emotional. Very emotional, yeah.
So I think the words here from everybody this morning is the feeling of emotions and intense emotions. And so we welcome back Jella again this morning. I know she is filled with emotions this morning. Jella, you are the long-time custodian, the long-time
Manager.
Are you telling me 50 years, Jella?
Yeah, I was here from 5 years old jumping there.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
When she sent me down by Delphine to buy the beef, and she just instructed me to clean the bathrooms. And I just put that in my mind for a passion of cleaning bathrooms. You can't take me out of a bathroom because I love cleaning bathrooms. And my boys here in the morning time with me like Gaff, 4:30 in the morning time, he boys, my boot owners, and they all make sure I get a drink in the morning time and make sure it's all right. And my boys, them, with come and go, commit to come and go. Whoever commit to come, I walk along with them, and that was very nice to me. Like Felix will tell you, he was here from whatever time. I was with Felix, I was with Gold, I was with Iwandi, and everybody. And I walk along with them, but I feel proud because I'm getting a new one. And I can stand great because I can take care of the new one just like I take care of the old one, like my home. And I will say thanks to Mr. Romney, because when I was out to give up, he pushed me. And Avon and Tiff pushed me more. And like Diane now, whatever she be in the village, I will more support it because that is my eyeball, that's my family. And I love to see the boys, them in the Caterpillar, the Honda, whatever it is, be and knocking it down. They're trying to get the gates out for me good and everything. And I walk up nothing in the village with Exodus HD and my Panther and things like that. I had very good nights and good days in the village. The village come my home. 3 homes I got. Valley Primary School, the village, and Maiku. towards public works first. As you can see, to go along the line, Valley, Village, and Maiku Public Works. That is my home. Them is my 3 homes in the valley, in here in Anguilla. And I've been working from the time I was 5 years old. I was down Maiku from the time I was 10. I was in the village from 5. I was in the school about maybe around 40 years old. But I love it. I love to do the village, Maiku, and the school. Them is my 3 homes. I was not come here to mind the world, but I'll do what I could do while I here, in the name of Jesus. And my other band fellas like Panther and Darwin and them used to keep me going in the village, looking out for me and everything. And North Song was my band and thing like that. But we all will rejoice and thing like that, because we all had a good time and thing. But I trying to get a new one, and I'll hope forward to see that I here to get a new one.
Thank you so much, Jala. And I think it's important that we recognize the contributions of persons like yourself. This has been, you say, your home. This has been your love since you were 5 years old. And that is no small feat. And so, again, the contribution that you would have given, we are forever grateful and indebted to you for that. I see a number of my other interviewees showing up. Thank you, Jella, for being here with us this morning. I see Gloria is here. How are you this morning?
I'm right here. I had my last dance on the stage. I remember those days. It was great. It was fun. And I enjoy it. Nice to see everything doing. And I'm happy for Anguilla and happy for everything.
Now, Gloria, we know that you are the resident walk-upist on this stage.
Yes, I am.
Good. You would have been here with us, well, before my times, when you had, Mustleton Brothers and North Sound. Tell us a little bit about what the cameras. Tell us a little bit more about what those experiences were for you back then and moving into where we are now.
Yeah, those experiences was great because we had Mustletons. They used to come from the Blown Point area, and when they say run, chick, run, come, we gone from North Sound to Mustleton, man, and on the ground walking up. But now you can't walk up like that in the crowd because you have to watch your back. Young people, enjoy Anguilla. I live good, love everybody, and everything will be okay. We'll have a better Anguilla. I wish the best for everybody.
Thank you so much for that, Gloria. And I think that is definitely a message to take away in terms of where we were and how we got together as a people, how this was the center for us to enjoy our culture, to enjoy what the parts of us that makes us Anguillian, the togetherness. And I am so happy again to see so many people here this morning from all walks of life, from all over this 35 square miles. And my hope, my sincere hope, going into a new structure is to piggyback off something that Gloria just said. It is the togetherness. It is, again, the spirit of the people, the energy of the people. And we do not want to see a new structure marred by violence, marred by persons who come out with ill intent, but really to come together with the sole purpose of enjoyment, with the sole purpose of free up yourself and enjoy the thing. And so this morning, we welcome Miss Farah Banks, a long-time commentator, long-time moderator, long-time judge for many events here in this particular structure. Good morning, Farah, and welcome. How are you feeling this morning, Farah?
Good morning, Gleneva. Thanks for having me. I'm feeling well. Thank you.
Great. So many persons this morning have spoken about their memories and how they are feeling seeing this demolition happen and their hopes for what is to come. As let's start, you've held so many roles you have participated on so many levels in this now almost demolished structure. Tell us, what has been your most memorable role, and then your most memorable moment here?
Well, I guess my most memorable role would be the one that I've played the longest and the one that I've done the most, which is to be a commentator in the commentary booth right to the back of the village, Subway 44 area. But I've done that for many, many years, about 3 decades now. And yeah, and so that is something that I look forward to every year, not just me, but most of Radio Anguilla's staff. We volunteer every year during the Anguilla Summer Festival so that we can bring commentary to those people in Anguilla and abroad who cannot make it to the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center for a show. And so we every year become their eyes and ears and bring coverage of the shows happening in the village. The ones that aren't best witnessed physically, you know. So some of the jam shows like the Band Clash and the Bandorama, we're not going to talk during that because the music speaks for itself. And so we don't bring commentary of that. But the pageants and the juves and the parades, we've done that for many years. I just noted from Felix and Mona's interview that the only play performed at the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center was The Master of Carnival. And I was in that play. I was a 90-something-year-old nun called Mother St. Justin, and that was my very first play with the Sunshine Theatre. I believe it was in 1992. We started working on it in 1991, and that was my first and only play in the Carnival Village, the only play in the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center. And you would have mentioned, Gleneva, that I worked as a judge. I've judged many shows, and I've only emceed as far as my memory serves, which is not very reliable, but only emceed the Tiny Tot shows, but judged many a show here in the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center.
Thank you, Farah. As we look forward, you know, you've spoken about the commentary booth, that is where the old Subway 44 club used to be, and latest, and the guys spoke about that a bit. Tell us, what are you looking forward to most in a new structure? I am certain that you and other commentators would have done so, not necessarily with the best of technology, not necessarily with the best of what there is to offer. What are you hoping for in this new structure?
Okay, well, as a commentator, I'm definitely hoping for comfort and security. You know, I think about the audiovisual team like Gaff and his team. They are actually under the commentary booth in a space that just happens to be open. They don't have shelter. They don't have any kind of enclosure. They have to put a tent under the commentary booth. And so it would be great if the media teams, whether audiovisual, radio, or whomever, would have, you know, the ideal facilities so that we can function properly. As a performer, as an actor, I would be so happy because after performing the Massive Carnival here in 1992, we recognized that this isn't ideal for plays. We moved to the Ruthville Auditorium, which you know is not in operation. You and I would have worked together on Pepper in Their Soup, and we know that we didn't perform that in an ideal location. And so we're hoping for flexibility with this new location. It would be great if people who practice many different types of arts would be able to present and perform here at the new Landsom Bowl Cultural Center. So those are some of the things that I would love to see.
Thank you so much, Farah. You know, again, we are experiencing and just a memorable part of history. This is history in the making. It is, again, recognizing what was here before. And I think that is very important for us to take in. And I'm going to be speaking with your Auntie Linda in a little bit, Dr. Olowakimi Linda Banks. And I am certain she is going to bring down the curtains here with a vast review of where we started and where we are now. So thank you
Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. She can tell you about all the years of coverage as Sunshine Lady, as an MC. She would have videotaped many of the Summer Festival shows that she donated recently, I believe, to the Anguilla Archaeological and Historical Society for them to reproduce so that we can see what it looked like back then. But the memories I hold dear to me would be, you know, coming up here as a teenager, as a child, as a high school student, coming to witness some of the shows, reuniting with your friends who came down to visit from St. Thomas, you know, partying, enjoying yourself, you know, watching talent on stage and seeing something that you think that maybe you can do that in the future, or maybe you can do it then, you know. And so those memories I really hold dear. I can remember the stories of all my friends from South Valley who would come to the Carnival Village this time of the morning after every show, and it was a race who gonna wake up the first to come in the village, to look all around the village floor to see who dropped money last night, who dropped something last night. And that's their carnival spending money, you know what I mean? And so those were the good memories that we had. And so we definitely want to continue in the positive vein. Like you mentioned, we don't want this new facility marred by violence. We don't want Anguilla marred by violence. We don't want our people marred by violence. So more than just the facility, we need to understand that what this is supposed to represent is unity. The unity in our history and what is to be in our future. So thanks so much again. Linda will definitely give us all the history that we need.
Thank you so much, Farah. And yes, I think it is only fitting. I saw some graphics coming out for Summer Festival 50, and I know it's being dubbed the Family Reunion. And I think that is so very important. It speaks to where we are. And this morning is the beginning of the family reunion. We are all out here and we are again experiencing history. I will allow Gaff and the team, and before I even allow them to turn, I want to say a very special thank you to Gaff and his team, Titanium Sounds, for being here with us this morning. But not just being here with us this morning, but for all that they do to contribute towards our summer festivals in the past. I know Farah spoke about it just now in terms of the work and not necessarily ideal conditions. And I don't want to put Gaff on the spot this morning. And if he is willing, I will leave a spot for him to come and speak about that. But it is important that we recognize the persons who have contributed to making our summer festival, making this structure, making these moments what they are, and for continuing to capture these moments. Again, in a little bit, we will be speaking with Dr. Banks, and she has a wealth of knowledge, and she has contributed to recording where we are. I am going to allow Gaff a moment to just take in what is happening over here, and we will be back in just a minute as we continue these interviews this morning.
Yeah. Huh?
All right, good morning again and welcome back. We are still here at the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center. We are still here at the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center. I am joined by Mr. Ralph Hodge, who is going to be speaking to us this morning about his involvement with the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center from the perspective of the Lions Community Club. Mr. Hodge, welcome.
Good morning, Ms. Hodge. It's a very pleasant day here at Landsom Bowl. And for me, it's a sort of new beginning. I'm very enlightened to see the sort of crowd that would have come out to look at one of the premier centers here on this island. Just before me, I'm seeing two trees that I knew nothing about when I was little in this area. I am sure before me, quite elegantly dressed, Miss Dr. Banks can attest to the whole issue of Landsom Bowl. I want to talk a little bit about my involvement with the Lions Club, or the Lions Club involvement. There have been so many names to mention that I would not attempt to go and do that. But for me, Gleneva, this is a sign of hope. It's really a new beginning. While people are looking on in fantasy and watching the building go down, I am seeing a new structure that is being developed somewhere in my mind as Anguilla goes forward.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge. And so tell us, what exactly would have been the contribution of the Lions Community Club to the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center, especially for our younger listeners, persons like myself who are just comes?
Okay, well, the Lions Club got involved after about 11 years of activity here at Landsom Bowl. I can vividly remember the year 1985 when Romero Kelsick, whose mother was a lioness, whose father was a lion, when he became, I think it was Prince of Carnival activities. So the Lions Club would have been involved since 1985. And one of the markings we will see would be the benches. The benches in Carnival Village, they have come primarily from the Lions Club through the Basic Needs Trust Fund, a sort of regional governmental program. And we had people like Clive Mills and Dan Hunt, architects, engineers, who were actually involved in moving the stage from on the southern end and bringing the stage on the northern end. So the stage that we are seeing today has been, there's a direct relationship between that and the Anguilla Lions Club. And it's a pity to see them go, but certainly I know that you must give up things to get better. And for the younger ones will not be aware of these areas because this was the home of the warden of Anguilla, burnt down at some point in time. And I could vividly recall coming from school at the Valley Boys School, walking through the edge of here, going through South Valley on the way home. The surroundings here has been developed over the years, the Lions Club, other groups coming after, and certainly what we are seeing today has been a work of the Anguillan community, and this is what worries me in particular. In the past, we were so united in building a framework for Anguilla, and now it seems to be more people thinking about destroying this framework that so many people have put their blood, sweat, and tears in.
Thank you. Yes, and as it relates to the benches, I know when Haji was with us a little bit earlier, he spoke about his memories of being around and those benches being put down, and it is a testament to clearly the sourcing of those benches, because they're still standing. Some of them, I think, when I came earlier, a few are still down. I'm not sure if they have all been removed now, but that the benches survived, that the benches lasted, that the longevity of them, again, it speaks to where it is that the Lions Club envisioned the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center going, and the importance that it played as the center of cultural activities.
Yes, certainly Haji should remember very well, is because his mother was a lioness and his father was a lion, and he used to be always a little boy in the midst of us in Carnival Village doing the work. And I was very enlightened yesterday seeing the benches still remaining in such good shape. The slabs for the benches, they came from a regional program, as I said, Basic Needs Trust Fund through government, and all the work was done by the Anguilla Lions Club. And out of this breaking down today, my hope is that we will see a new thing to culture in Anguilla. The Lions would have been contributing to the cultural development of Anguilla, and I certainly would want to see, as the summer festival goes on, there will be greater accountability, there will be greater organization, and the very hard work put in by the culturalists like Dr. Banks and her grouping, the Woodses and all the rest of them, that there will be a framework for Anguilla getting better in terms of cultural activity. But certainly a lot of the youngsters would not be aware of what took place here unless they were the children of those of us who were actually involved or those who were doing the work. But certainly today will go down in the memories of everyone here, and I sincerely hope that we have the pictures to pass on to other generations, because one of the things in Anguilla is that we wait until something is gone and say, this was here, but there's no evidence. I hope today we will have very fond memories. There'll be many pictures, and the kind of work that you are doing, getting information out of people, Gleneva, will be treasured as we go along as an island.
Thank you so much, and I certainly agree. And for me, being part of this historical moment is not just about recording the tearing down of, but the preserving of the memories, the history that existed before, and looking towards the future and creating new memories. One of the things, again, that I think we want to emphasize is when we speak about the history of this space, we think about the community togetherness. And for some of us, sometimes it feels as if though that sense of community, that sense of togetherness is sometimes lost in modern day Anguilla. And so again, looking at the people who have come here this morning to experience this, to be a part of this, I am hopeful that this is the beginning of us seeing a new beginning when it comes to our togetherness. There is no doubt that our carnival, and we're going to just be very frank, our carnival, our summer festival has been marred by violence in the past years. Last year, I know it happened during the parade of troops. And so my hope, again, going into Summer Festival 50, is that we can regain that sense of community, togetherness, love, and moving towards building up a better, a bigger, a better, and brighter Anguilla. One where, again, the family reunion, where we can come together and celebrate as one people.
Well, I agree with you, Gleneva. Today should not be seen as a breaking down. Today should be seen as the start of a new beginning and a new direction. There should be no room for violence in terms of a beautiful island like Anguilla, where everybody should know everybody. And certainly I hope Dr. Banks will talk a little bit more about that. She was involved in the actual activities of Carnival even before the Lions Club. When we talk about beauty pageants and all the rest of it, somewhere must be etched in the history of this island, the Dr. Banks. We will say, Linda, we used to call you at that point in time. And I am very sure that as we look today, we must not treat today as a sign of sadness. We should treat today as a sign of hope. the whole question of coming together is very important. We've lost that community spirit. We have to build on it now. We sincerely hope that the generation of yours, Gleneva, and the generation just behind, that we will do enough to get them geared to really bring about a new Anguilla. I can remember in the Anguilla Revolution when we were talking about we are going to build a new Anguilla. That hope seemed to have been lost somewhere, but I sincerely hope that the breaking down here would be the sign of going somewhere new, and that certainly in the future we are well on the way to building a new Anguilla, starting culturally the summer festivities here at Landsom Bowl, the boat racing, and we will do what is necessary to carry out the thing that a village is responsible for a child. And certainly that's my hope.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hatch. Thank you for all of your contributions, and thank you for joining us here this morning again as we experience history in the making, as we again look to the future, a symbol not of destruction, but a symbol of hope, a symbol of what is to come. And again, we will now move over to Dr. Banks. Dr. Banks will be our final interview this morning, and it is so fitting that we move to her and that we end with her, because I know she is going to take us from the beginning to the end of what is existing, and I am so pleased that she will also be here to see us move into what is to come. So, good morning, Dr. Banks, and welcome, and thank you. Thank you for being here with us this morning. As always, you are dressed so impeccably. You are dressed to the nines. And if I may say, it is a festive look. I absolutely love it. It is reminiscent of the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center and all that it embodies in terms of the colorfulness, the joy that it brings. So Dr. Banks, good morning.
Good morning, Gleneva. In all the festive look, you will notice I have a little towel. Because, you know, this is a moment of mixed emotions. Joy, yes, because we are moving on, but still a feeling of remembering the past. I go back to the time when we first saw this place, when we decided to move the carnival. It wasn't called carnival then, it was the August Monday Bazaar in 1974, down to what was called Burnsome. Yeah, because this was the place that was burned out during the revolution. And when we wanted to expand the festivities from the August Monday Bazaar at the park, where Mrs. Atherton, actually the aunt of the present minister, she had helped us to create a mini carnival with troops and stuff, children dressed in costume. When we wanted to expand it, a group of us looked around and somebody came up with the bright idea. Let's go to the scene of the old warden's place. So we came down here and we looked, and there was a man from St. Kitts, a lawyer, Nazibu Butler, who had been involved in carnival there. And he helped us visualize this place as a potential place for carnival. People said at that time, oh, you're going to jump on the dump. People didn't see it as a place for carnival. But with the help of the people from this community, people like Gassy and Bell Reed and folks like those, we worked from sunup to sundown to create what we saw, what we see being demolished today. So it's bittersweet. Of course, you cannot stop the hands of progress. But I'd like to pay tribute to the folks who worked day and night to get the old rubble, you know, out. It rose like a phoenix from the dust. get the old rubble out of place and use some of that rubble, the old galvanized, the plywood, to create the perimeter of a new carnival village for Anguilla. And that was in 1975 actually, when we moved down here. Because the year before in 74, we were at the park, Burroughs Park at the time. So, yeah, I hear the machinery. I hear the machinery, I see the machinery, and it gives me pleasure on the one hand, but it brings back memories of the nights, the long nights and days that the people of the South Valley community and other communities spent creating what has been a place in Anguilla that's been a symbol of carnival for so many years. I applaud the groups that came on board and contributed, because you know we build on the shoulders of each other. Every group added something. I want to pause for a moment to remember folks like Calvert Carty, Bell Reed, Fabian Richardson, we call him Bede, and others whose names don't come to mind right now, but who contributed. I applaud people like Colonel Harrigan, who was a master costume builder. And I want to say that, you know, they say progress doesn't start overnight. There were many long nights and days, many sleepless nights, many people united around an idea of bringing culture to a different level in Anguilla. Want to applaud all the committees. Yeah, we work night and day. And Gassi, remember one night before a show in the village, the old galvanized fell down and they had to scramble to get the walls back up to have the show that night. And so all of those memories are flitting through my mind as I look at this demolition here today. And I know nothing stands behind, nothing prevents progress. Progress has a mind of its own, and development must go on. We are not stagnant human beings, we grow. And so I applaud the minister for this move towards creating a center of excellence for Anguilla in terms of cultural activities. And I look forward to all that is to come. And as Mr. Hodge and you have admonished the young people, the people who are creating disharmony in our island, you know, to cease and desist from doing that. I remember one night we had a show at the village and shots rang out. I was on stage that night. My daughter was in the audience and I remember saying to her, Fumika, come to your mother, come to your mother. Because everybody was scrambling to get their children that night. We are hoping that there will be no more incidents of that. I applaud the Royal Anguilla Police Force for what they're doing, and I urge parents in Anguilla. Parents came to the carnival with their children. I saw you interviewed Angela. Angela's mother, Myrtle, was one of the key proponents of carnival. She was a supporter. I can still hear her say how sweet it is as she enjoyed the carnival shows. So, you know, things come full circle, but we move on. And so we are here moving on to the scene of a new carnival village. In the background, there are the sounds of demolition, but out of demolition comes progress. So, thanks for this show. I hope that it will energize people to support culture more. We now have a double barrel. We have the Summer Festival, which comprises of the shows in the village and the boat races. So that has been a big step in the right direction. I applaud Mr. John Benjamin for the idea of taking us back down the route to stand the ground from whence we came as enslaved persons. We weren't enslaved then, but we were the children of enslaved persons. We came back up that route. So there have been many developments along the way, and I do hope that we'll keep culture in it. I remember for 4 years I had a show called Africa Revisited. Which
Can we look forward to the rebirth of that show?
I would love that. I would love that, because that show allowed women of all ages to celebrate their heritage. And so we look forward to more cultural shows. Yes, we appreciate the band clashes, we appreciate I was for years a supporter of the Musical Brothers, we appreciate the Tiny Tots, we appreciate all the opportunities for people to display their talents. We appreciate the fact that our queens have traveled far and wide to represent Angola. We appreciate all the progress we've made. But progress is a two-edged sword. As we progress, we have to be careful that we do not, out of the ruins of the Warden's Place, we created a carnival village. Out of these ruins, and I'm getting teary right now, we plan to create something bigger and better. But let's keep the soul of Carnival, let's keep the spirit of Carnival alive. Just remind our young people, yes, as human beings, we are celebratory human beings, so we want to have fun. Let's keep an element of that fun. Make sure that the spirit of loving each other is part of that fun. Our Calypsonians have spoken to us over the years in very fantastic literary compositions and musical compositions about peace. Let's keep peace as part of our carnival, our boat races. Let's celebrate each other. Let's celebrate life. Let's celebrate the fact that out of the ruins of some of their lives, the young people, it's not over. You can start over. Don't feel that because you got involved in in trouble, you have to throw in the towel and say it's all over. No, let's see this as a symbol of rebirth. Let's see this as an opportunity of doing things differently. Let's see this as a chance to make something good. God said he's making a new thing. Let this be a new thing for Angola, a new thing that we can all band together and celebrate, band together and enjoy, brother and sister. There is so much to be said about tearing down the old and bringing up the new, but we must make way for progress, because progress will come no matter what, and we must embrace it and celebrate it.
Dr. Banks, thank you for taking us from the beginning to where we are now. But I must ask, in all of that history, what are some of your most memorable, and I know that you have participated and you have been a part of our culture in so many different areas. What are some of your most memorable moments here? You have been here from the beginning, and I am certain you can share with us some memories that some of us may not even be aware of. And so again, as we look towards the future, I do think that it is important that we embrace and we respect the past and what was here before.
Memories, there are so many, and some of them are blurred now because there are so many of them, but I must say the overriding memory is of the fun and excitement of people coming together and enjoying the different artists who came on board, enjoying the different Calypsonians, enjoying the different queens, enjoying the pageantry, the revelry, the beauty. One show in recent times which comes to mind was a show with the two Calypsonians from Trinidad, Arrow. Arrow and Who was it? They look so much alike. Yeah. Oh God, you know the memory is failing.
But I do. That is.
That was a classic moment.
It was. As my dad is a lover of calypso, I was brought out with him to that show, and I remember. Oh, sorry. As I remember being at that show as a young person, my dad, as a lover of calypso, he brought me out with him, and so yes, I do remember the village was rocking with sweet calypso that night.
Yeah, because you know, I must applaud the Calypso committee. You know, for the people that they brought to the show. These are legends in their own right. So the carnival shows are memories that I will always hold dear. The carnival queens and the way that they went out of their way with the chaperons. We saw Mona there to create a beautiful picture. I will always remember Mr. Kelsick and I. You know, we were always involved in the classic old timers carnival troupe, and it was fun to be part of that troupe. And what I would do the night before it was usually the parade was usually after the Queen show. So the night before, Kelsick and I would dress up in our costumes for the next day, and we'll do a little jam on the stage. So I always remember Mr. Kelsick very fondly. I applaud the members of the Classic Old Timers show, you know, for bringing that element of culture so that people will realize that you're never too old to enjoy your culture. You're never too old to, you know, to enjoy carnival, and put it out there that age is just a number.
I do hope latest is somewhere still listening. We started this morning with some lyrics for the 50, and Dr. Banks, you have certainly given us some just now. Never too old. I know we spoke about some Calypsonians out of Trinidad, and it brings to mind the current Trinidad Calypso monarch, Mr. Marshall Montano, when he said, never too young to soca, but I would like to say we never too old to carnival here in Anguilla. And so this has been, I am certain, a full circle moment for you, seeing it come from, as you call it, the Born Bowl, to now it became the Landsom Bowl, and seeing it be taken down to build something new. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Banks, for being here with us. We have one more person who wants to join us as we are running out of time and space as I see the machinery get closer and closer to us. So Dr. Banks, again, thank you. Thank you for all that you have done for the culture, for us as a people, for ensuring that the culture is not just experienced, but recorded. And I think that is so important, so that future generations can know from whence we came.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for recording this moment in time, because moments in time pass so quickly. And having them in our mind is one thing, but having a record of the moment lends itself to posterity. Thank you.
Thank you again so very much. The current carnival chair is here, and you know, before we go, please come and join me, my longtime co-host. You've left me to fend for myself this morning.
So much going on.
I see the machinery moving in. Is the stage down? Is the stage gone? Are they moving the stage?
Piece of it is gone right now. Piece of it is gone right now. They're moving very fast. The trucks are supposed to start rolling in at 9 to take the rubble out because it's going today. But yeah.
So, the reason I asked about the stage is because I am certain persons listening, persons here, will remember the crossing of the stage of many a carnival troupe
I know Dr. Banks spoke about the old timers and, you know, Ray Crawford and Players Troop. I've crossed the stage a few times, well, one time, you know, with the troops and all that comes with it. It is to pay homage to the bands, Not Sound, the Tons, Musical Brothers, Panther Vibes, Better Band, Exodus HD, and all of those that came before even my time. But this is your time. This is your time.
This is our time.
This is our time. But you are in the spotlight in this moment. You are the chair of Summer Festival 50. You are the chair under which they will say them break down the Carnival Village. Ivan, we're not getting away from that. And so he who wears the crown, whether that is the Calypso crown, the Queen Show crown, the Soca Monarch crown, but he who wears the crown carries the weight and feels the weight. And so, again, we are seeing live the demolition of the Carnival Village, and I know a lot of persons have fears. Today is the 17th of February. The reunion begins on the 21st of July. I like to say the reunion begins today because the people are here. We are here as a community. We are out in numbers. But we are running out of time, Ivan, and so I will give you a few moments. I know that you are introducing someone, and I will hand over for you to introduce.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna. You're not gonna hand over. When we talk about a family reunion, if we can come this way a little bit with the camera. When we talk about a family reunion, it's not just our Anguilla family. An integral part of what we do for our summer festival is the Leeward Islands Calypso show, the Leeward Islands Calypso Monarch. Here today in Anguilla, we have Hollywood, 5-time winner from Nevis, who's actually on site, who have performed here before. And he told me, and I am not in this, but he told me he coming to win the crown this year. Both in Nevis and here in Anguilla. And then Fresh Coal told me the same thing last week. So I want you to find out from them who actually win the crown, then me, you gonna wrap it up.
Okay. So good morning and welcome back to Anguilla. Welcome here for our Demolition Jollification.
Nice. It's really a pleasure to be home. I gotta call it home because I've been here many times. But coming here, I'm made to understand that they will be breaking it down. So I take some time out to come to see it for myself. I'm very pleased to see so many people come out to see such an occasion. That means they're very excited to see what's coming next.
Nice. And for someone who has graced our stage, for someone who is hoping to be back and gracing the new stage, and Ivan ran off before I can get to that, you know, because what are your hopes? What are you most excited and looking for? And give us a little bit of your memories gracing the stage before.
Well, to first and foremost, I must tell you that Nevis and also Anguilla will be celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. So I'm in preparation I'm the reigning Calypso King for Nevis. So I'm in preparation right now for that big year. And so definitely most of the time capturing the crown at in Nevis, you get the opportunity to come to Anguilla. I have been on the stage performing, competing for 4 years because the COVID took away one of it. But I always love coming to Anguilla. I always love competing with the Leeward Islands, with the bigger boys or the bigger girls, or however you want to call it. So this year, I will give it my utmost best to be here to grace the new stage. I'm looking forward to it. I took some videos and so forth. So when I come back again later on this year, I will know how to compare and say, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there is absolutely no coincidence in the fact that you are wearing a shirt that says King, and it is gold, as both Nevis and Anguilla are celebrating our golden anniversaries of Carnival.
Well, compliments to my wife. She was the one that put on the shirt on me this morning.
It's usually a woman's choice.
My wife Kenish, come quick, Kenish. We're celebrating our 18th anniversary tomorrow, and so she have never been to Anguilla. This is a place that she always wanted to come, and so we're finally here So she was the one that have. So this is my wife, Kenish.
Well, happy anniversary to you both again. We are celebrating all things. New beginnings, love, we are celebrating it all here this morning.
Nice, nice.
Great.
She a bit shy, eh?
Yes, so welcome to Anguilla again. We're gonna make way for the equipment to pass, and we are pretty much just running out of time. So I'm gonna invite. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for joining us. I'm gonna wrap up with Ivan. Ivan, I was saying, you have big shoes to fill to ensure that Anguilla Summer Festival 50 is taking place in a new structure. Again, we are on a very tight timeline. Are you feeling the pressure? And are we going to ensure that there is a stage to cross this Summer Festival 50?
No pressure. I say no pressure because the Anguillan spirit gets things done. And I know our do things crew. That's the word. That's the words we've been floating around lately. The do things crew, and the do things crew extend further than those that I work with. Persons like Calvert Juni Fleming, persons like Greg Hughes, persons like Remy Lake, persons like Stump, persons like Leroy Gomes, persons like Salim Puncher Richardson. A bunch of people I don't want to start calling names and I shouldn't have. You got Busby because I can get in trouble. I forget people that showed up today and participated in this demolition jollification free of charge. That's their machines, their gas, to make sure that we get this down today so the land can be excavated, the plans can go through the process that they're going through now, and we start with the construction of the new Landsom Bowl Cultural Center. If there's anything about jollification, it's about people coming together, right? And the jollification is not just for the demolition, the jollification is for the construction as well. So I am confident that we done. I am confident that we'll be ready.
Excellent. And on that note, again, we are going to be vacating this space as they get closer to bringing down the last remains of the former Landsom Bowl Cultural Center on this side. Ivan is going to secure his piece of history. And again, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. You know, again, very emotional persons are filled with emotion. And if I do anything before we end, if I can get Mr. Kelsick to join me up here, I will on the spot conduct one more interview with Mr. Kelsick, because we cannot have Mrs. Carnival without Mr. Carnival. And so, Mr. Kelsick, good morning. Good morning. How are you feeling this morning?
Good morning. I am very well, thanks. I originally was supposed to be here, but unfortunately, I'm at work, so I asked Mr. Hodge to take my place. And he didn't know he did a wonderful job. You know, as he mentioned, our involvement in Carnival was very, very good, because we changed the whole system up. You know, as he mentioned, we had engineers in our club and this sort of thing. So it was good, and especially changing, because as one of the engineers said, how you were standing in the north, right, and looking at the south because of the ridge they had in the village. So we were able to change it around so that you look down and you're looking on the stage, you wouldn't have to strain your neck. But all in all, it's good. It has service purpose. One thing though that happened was that after we started running Carnival, shortly after we did whatever we did, the then minister, I won't call it him, said that the Carnival was too big for the Lions to run. You know, I always remember that. So as we say, well, that's the way it is the way it is. But we made our contributions by doing that. And you know, the Lions Club is a service club, and we were able to do our part. You know, and it is good. It's nice to see, well, it's going down, as everybody keeps saying, it's history. So let's hope and see the history we're building again, because a lot of folks, as you can look around, because actually I was watching it on Facebook. When I finished reading the news, I decided to go on Facebook, and there we had Miss Banks. She was talking. But all in all, and I'm happy that Dr. Banks mentioned guys like Fabian Bede Richardson and so forth, because we were all involved in Carnival. Matter of fact, we were so involved that 2 of my children became princes. 2 of them were princes, you know, and that is.
In Carnival today.
Yes, he is. He's a community-minded person, and you know, he works along with the teenage pageant, and well, he works along with the committee, and any way that he can fit in, he fits in. But all in all, as we watch, we can see we'll get a new village, and I hope that Carnival will go from strength to strength. And I also like to thank Mr. Hodge for fitting in for me.
All right, thank you for joining us on the spot, Mr. Kelsick. You know, again, this has been a community affair. This has been a family affair. And we look forward to Summer Festival 50 because Carnival is calling, and we are calling you all home for the family reunion. So this has been Jollification, Demolition Jollification this morning. And again, the spirit of Jollification is live. It is part of our culture. It is our culture. And Jollification, like Ivan said, does not begin and end here. It would be remiss of me to not shout out the Anguilla Enhancement Project. They will be having a Jollification event on Monday, 4th March under the trough. We will continue with our Jollification events as we rebuild in this space a new Landsom Cultural Center, a new home for the culture and the arts, a new space to call our own. And with that, I sign out as we take the final moments of the backstage being taken down. Again, fond memories that so many share watching this happen this morning. So, okay, now that we can see the front stage, the front parts of the village, definitely the ticket booth area, that is down. The backstage area is down. If the camera pans out, you will see the chair of the Carnival Committee on the stage for the final time as the Landsom Cultural Center, as it was known, is being brought down this morning and making way for something new. Behind us, we see the main entrance building, the area that housed security. That is now coming down. Again, I implore persons that from this rubble, when the new rises, that we not only care and love for what's there, that we bring the spirit and the energy of carnival, of togetherness, of love in here, because we do not want to see and to continue the path and the trajectory that we have been on. So again, taking down the old and making way for what is to come. All right, and I am going to sign out, and I am going to leave Gaff and the team to continue to bring you live shots of what is happening here this morning at the site of the Landsom Cultural Center. I'd like to thank Gaff and his team, Titanium Sounds in Anguilla, for bringing this live. The Department of Youth and Culture, the Anguilla Summer Festival Committee,
for putting this together, and all of those persons who have come out this morning to ensure that this is done, that we have had a really good demolition jollification here this morning in Rainbow City, Anguilla. Signing out, and I will see you at the family reunion July 21st, 2024, as we celebrate 50 years of Carnival right here in Rainbow City, Anguilla. Gleneva Hodge signing out. Okay. I am back just for a moment to let you know that there is some memorabilia under the tamarind tree, the double tamarind tree, that persons are invited to go and partake of. Persons who are here joining us, there is some memorabilia that you are encouraged to go and get under the double tamarind tree here at the Landsom Bowl Cultural Center this morning. Thank you.
my back. Yeah, maybe. when I pass over going over there, you all time looking to see me. And then, but not even that, now that you got a lot of movement of the vehicles and other stuff. Tell me when you're not seeing me.
Anybody here?
coming out with them. A lot. I was saying them in news. Guys. Hey, you alright? I'm coming.